All right, let's go ahead and get the party started. And record. Perfect. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I am currently in a hotel, so welcome to this random hotel. And yeah, we've just been doing a lot of traveling, so I appreciate all of the members for your patience in the pre-recorded Q&A. And then I actually also pre-recorded the live video today that's happening tonight. So that's going to be airing on YouTube, and it was great. It was such an amazing download for starseeds and a little bit of a prediction video for 2023. So you can check that out later today. And just a couple of announcements before we get started. Astral Travel event was amazing. I can't wait to hear about all of your experiences with the workbook and the content and kind of how that settles into your vibration. So definitely check out the workshop recording if you haven't already, and then definitely check out the forums. Just an FYI, on the elizabethapril.com/cosmic society forums, we had to make them all private, so all you have to do is request to be accepted, and we will accept you. So just kind of keeping that in mind. And if you do ever see any sort of inappropriate comments or inappropriate chats on the forum or the membership, please let us know. We don't have a huge team to go through and moderate everything. So if we can have kind of like a self-moderation process, just screenshot the comment and send it over to us at a support chat. Oh my God, it's been a weird week. It's Monday, and it's already been absolutely insane. And then later today there's going to be the members only coaching call. So if you want a secondary chance to get chosen and get read, definitely check out the members only coaching call. And if you want to be chosen today, please go ahead and raise your Zoom hand. For those of you who are on YouTube, if you want to just kind of watch, you can watch from YouTube. If you want to participate, you can go over to the direct Zoom link, which is either on my website. If you go elizabethapril.com, go into the events calendar and click on the Zoom registration, and you'll get popped right into the Zoom room. Or you can go onto my Instagram stories, and you can click on the direct Zoom link to actually potentially get chosen, because I choose people on Zoom and not YouTube. I don't have sage today to clear my energy, but I do have some energy clearing spray that I'm going to be using, and also just the white light and the cord cutting after every person. Also, my wife she's right there. She's behind me. So she's in the space, but that's nothing new. And yeah, my highest intention always for these coaching calls is to choose people that are mere reflections of the group. So even if you don't get chosen today, even if you don't even want to participate in trying to get chosen today, the messages, as always, are for you. I highly recommend grabbing your notebook and your pen, writing down any sort of pieces of homework, even past lives, cosmic connections that really stand out to you, that resonate with you, because it is for you as well. And always, I just want to give back and help and make sure that everyone is exactly where they need to be, and they feel empowered, and they feel healed, and they feel like they're worth it, and they're here for a reason, and they can keep going. And that's also always my intention for this. I'm just going to go ahead and clear my energy, and then I'm going to go right on over to the attendees. So 1 second. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with Aubrey, come on in. And just a reminder, if you have been chosen in any coaching call before, please don't raise your hand again. That just makes sure that everyone gets the equal amount of chance to come in for the first time. I think she's coming in. Hello. Hi.
Hello. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. What can I help you with today, Aubrey? What's going on?
I have been in this place of just feeling like so stuck.
Mhm.
And I feel like I've kind of like plateaued a little bit on my like spiritual journey. In like some ways I've regressed. In other ways I feel like I'm still making a lot of progress, but I feel like I've been at this crossroads now for a while, and I'm just having a really hard time like figuring out what's next. Like, do I need to move? Like, I quit my job, but I need a new job. Like, I don't know. There's so much up in the air. And so
Okay.
I just really need some guidance.
Perfect. That's what I'm here for. So yeah, immediately I felt the kind of living situation and the move as well. So I was going to ask you about that, but you mentioned it. Job stuff. So when did you leave your job and what were you doing?
I was a fourth grade teacher for 3 years, and I left my job like last June. So it's been over a year since I've had like a full-time job. So I've had like part-time work, and I'm teaching yoga and breath work now, which I love, but it's not like financially like stable, you know?
Yep, perfect. And then living situation wise, if you were to move, would you just kind of move into the same location or would you move to a completely different location?
That's kind of like I live in LA, and I don't feel like I can live here much longer, but I also don't know like where I would go.
Totally. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's just take a look at everything and let's see
Oh,
what
thank
comes through here. 1 second.
you.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, so there's lots of things that come through here. The first thing that comes through is a really interesting, I think your guides just wanted to point this out. You've got a lot of yellow energy in your third eye chakra, which is very bizarre to see. So I thought that was peculiar. And what they were talking about is it's kind of like a yellow golden energy. So yeah, a bit of the solar plexus chakra, like the kind of willpower and the confidence. But it's also this that you're very connected to like cosmic energy as well. So you're definitely a star seed being, and you haven't fully allowed yourself to open up in the spiritual way as much as I know that you could open up, but you're getting there. You're on the right path. So I just wanted to bring that up, that that's an interesting connection. You have a lot of cosmic connections in the third eye. Um, the other thing that came up is a metaphorical image, and I thought this was really fascinating. And I think I know exactly why you were chosen. Yes, to help you kind of get on that path, but also to remind everyone else that it's okay to be at a crossroads. It's okay to kind of like it literally looks like you're on a teeter totter right now and you're on one end of it and you're like, I'm so ready to jump, I'm so ready to like get flown into the next thing, but I don't know what that is. And the other metaphorical image that came through other than the teeter totter was like if you could imagine like a rope and you're on your last string right now. You've cut so many old things. You're so ready to just cut that last little cord and move forward wherever that may be. And I asked your spirit guides, what are you waiting for? Like, what is the thing? Because it could either be an attachment issue that you have to, like, you're not letting go of something else, so you need to do that before you move forward. But in your case specifically, it's just you're ready to let it all go. You just don't know where you're moving forward into. So I get that. And once again, like, there's a lot of people right now, like, watching this that are exactly where you are too. You're like, I'm so ready to move forward. I just don't know what that is. Here's what your guides are mentioning. For you in particular, and then I just want to go in for more of a general message for anyone who's kind of at the same place as you. But for you in particular, it definitely looks like a new location. I don't know if it's completely out of state, if it's still in the same state of California. What they mentioned is you have so many gifts to share, but you need to be in a place where you can be, I don't think valued is the right word, but like, it's almost like you need to be in a place where you can make a really big impact, because it feels like right now where you're at is very saturated, very oversaturated. There's a lot of people doing what you do. And because it's like, because you're in a place where it feels like you're a dime a dozen, you haven't even valued your own gifts and you haven't really blossomed into what you can do. And I see you moving to a place that's like not as spiritually open, but so ready for someone like you to come in. And I see that once you make those deeper connections and you create a little bit more stability in the breath work and the yoga and just teaching in general, because I feel like your teaching abilities, you know, of course, coming from a school teacher, they're really going to blossom and move into something else beyond breath work, beyond yoga. And I feel like it has a lot to do with your cosmic connection. And your guides were even saying that you have an ability to activate things in people, which I think beyond yoga, which some people might always just go back to your yoga classes because it's like there's something special, but they don't know what it is about them. But I think with the breath work, that's where you're really moving into the more of the activation realm. But you're really just going to blossom, and you're just floating in a vast ocean right now. So I really think that location is going to be huge for you. Your guides are not bringing up a location in particular, but it feels like by the end of 2022, you're going to know exactly what that new location is. It could be anything that just prompts you to go there. And you're going to really lay down your roots there, and you're going to find stability, which is going to lead you into the financial stability as well. And you're not going to fully blossom and thrive financially until you fully step into yourself as well, and you start to do other things beyond just the two that you're doing. So yeah, a lot of good things there. Like, you're definitely exactly where you need to be, but I get how scary it can be just kind of floating in the in between. So I just want to channel for everyone else who's also at this place where they're ready to move forward, but they don't know where they're going. They're at this crossroads. I just want to see if there's general advice for everyone else as well. So 1 second. Okay. That's good. Okay, so there's actually some really great advice here for everyone, and you can take this too, which is, if you're at a place where you're so ready for movement, you're so ready to move forward, but you have no idea what that looks like, the best advice that comes through is stop thinking about how much you don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what the next thing is. And really focus on what it is that you do want. Okay. I don't know what job I'm going into. I don't know what location I want to be at, but what do you want out of a location? What do you want to wake up and feel every day? Wow, like, look at all the trees around, look at all the nature. That's what I value, is the nature connection, or maybe you value family connection. Maybe you value financial abundance and freedom. So you end up at a place where you can grow yourself and then move to a smaller place where you can establish yourself or what have you. So the biggest thing for people who are at a crossroads and have no idea what's next is really focus on the highest intention from what the categories are in your life that you want. You want to attract a new romantic partner. What do you want out of that partnership? Not, what color his hair is and what he does for a living, or she, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But what is the vibe that you want to get out of that thing? And the more that you can wake up every day and set those intentions, the more you're manifesting and creating that, and the faster you're going to go through this period of feeling stuck. Whereas a lot of people tend to just flounder in this area of transition of, I don't know what's going on, but this isn't working, and I'm just here, and that just rolls over into a lot of things, but nothing's really appropriate or aligned, because you're just every day you're thinking about something different. So figure out what it is that you want, the highest vibration, and then stick to it every day. Think about those things in those different categories. And for you in particular, living situation and career are going to be the top two, and financial, I would say top three for you, and for most people, I would say, at this time too. So thank you so much coming through, Aubrey, and keep up the good work, and I'm very excited to see where you end up.
Thank you so much. That really resonated. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So good. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and clear my energy, and we're going to move right on into the next person. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and bring in Krista. Come on in. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Awesome. Do you feel comfortable with video or no?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Let's see here. Ask to start video, and if not, no big deal. It's always nice to see faces. There you are. Awesome. So, Krista, what can I help you with today? What's going on?
I don't know. I've just been kind of feeling lost with my purpose lately. And my family is very spiritual. I had an experience with my grandmother. It was probably 9 years ago now when she died. But basically, I was in Ohio. She was in Massachusetts, and I was sleeping, but like I saw the whole thing happen. So I'm just kind of trying to like understand it a little bit.
Okay, perfect. Let's do a general check-in. Let's see where you're at. Let's see what your guides can say, and see if we can kind of, pep you up and motivate you to keep going. Okay. 1 second. Interesting. Okay. So I'm doing a scan of your energy, and immediately I'm seeing a lot of purple energy sitting at the back of your body. Now, purple represents, yes, crown chakra, third eye, but to me anyway, it also represents past life energy. Okay, so there's a lot of karmic past life energy that's sitting at the back of you. Karma is not always necessarily a bad thing, and it's not a bad thing in your case, but there's definitely something here that's, I guess I would say, maybe a little bit of a block for you. And it comes down to two things. One is like full freedom in spiritual expression. and 2 is self-worth. And these two have been connected for a very long time. And once again, I have a feeling as to why you needed to be chosen for everyone else. It really comes down to a lot of starseeds having their own self-worth blocks coming from past lives. And a lot of the persecution that we've gone through in past lives for being our true spiritual selves. And so the self-doubt blocker prevents us from being totally free in our expression, in our communication, and in our spiritual connections. So a lot of starseeds are blocked in even just moving ahead in the human way, not even touching the spiritual, but it's like this block of like, no, just stay small and you'll survive. Because anytime we're louder than life, or we don't fully fit into what life is supposed to be, there's a lot of persecution that happens. So there's a past lifetime here. I want to say it was like 1400s. And you were a female and you were a medium. That's what you were. At first I was like, ooh, a little bit witchy. Like it felt kind of like, you had your own shop. And so I felt like more of like the alchemy kind of paganism type vibe. But then I saw what you were doing for people, and you were channeling their passed away loved ones. So you were doing like the afterlife, channeling loved ones, and all of that great stuff. And so you developed a really thriving business. You were really good at what you did, and you were just giving people closure. And you kind of just said whatever you can offer as an energy exchange. Maybe it's, I just saw like little coins being exchanged, or maybe it's bread, or maybe it's wool from your farm, or what have you. So it's just kind of a trade type of thing. And so this went on for many years. And then at a point in time, there was a man who happened to be the husband of a woman who was your client. Okay, if you're following me. And essentially, she ended up getting a reading. And I want to say it was for her sister who passed away quite early on in her life. And she never felt closure from it. So she came to you and inquired. And so you were able to channel her sister, and it was really beautiful. And the woman gave you, I don't know what it was, whatever she could afford. And the husband found out that, their very little income went to this thing that he did not believe in. And as a matter of fact, went against his religion. And so he came storming into your shop in the middle of a reading and started calling you like a charlatan, and saying that, you shouldn't be like asking for money for this kind of service, and that the service is completely bogus, and that you totally ripped his wife off. And it was so impactful for you that moment that you left town. Like you literally left your spiritual business, you shut that down, and you kind of just, you ended up meeting someone and getting married, and you became like a farmer's wife, and that's who you chose to be for the rest of that life. So there's this kind of weird like financial block. There's a little bit of this spiritual block, and a little bit of this like self, like confidence in self block as well. Like a little bit of the self-sabotage, all coming from this moment. And it's so interesting that this lifetime comes up here, because I'll see comments all the time of people saying, very similar things to me, like, you shouldn't be charging for these services, like you're such an evil person for doing this, and it's so discouraging for any new spiritual entrepreneur who has the intention of helping the planet and who also has to pay the bills. And so, and I always try and keep an open mind to the people who are making these comments. But yeah, that is exactly what I see in social media today, is exactly what happened to you in that past lifetime, which really shut down so many aspects of yourself, of your true self. And this is why there's almost like right now in your life, there's this feeling of like dissatisfaction. I don't know how else to say it, but it's like, you're not as connected as you could be. You're not as thriving as you could be. And you're restless. You're so looking for that deeper connection. You're so looking for that excitement again. So let me just ask your spirit guides if maybe going into that past lifetime was enough to clear it, or if there's anything else that you need to be aware of in order to clear it. So 1 second. Okay, great. So yes, they were saying that yes, just hearing that past lifetime is enough to clear it. I don't see any sort of cord cuttings or even like deep meditations that you have to do around it. Maybe tonight, right before going to bed, you can forgive that man in that past lifetime, and also forgive yourself for choosing to shut things down and not persevering through that uncomfortable feeling of, he doesn't agree with what I'm doing, and it doesn't mean that I'm wrong in doing this. You know what I mean? So yeah, forgive him, forgive yourself. And then there's like an affirmation that comes through. The guides were also mentioning that everyone hearing that past lifetime is also releasing some of these blocks that we have with self-sabotage and self-worth and asking for what we deserve. So the affirmations come through here as safety. It's all around safety. I am safe to have full spiritual connection. I am safe to ask for what I deserve. I am safe to express my inner thoughts, you know, whatever it may be, but the safety is so key for you. And you're going to start to see a lot of new movement. And I also want to mention to you as well, Krista, that what I really see is you do a lot of things for a lot of other people who don't actually appreciate what you do. I just have to like plant this seed for you that with this self-sabotage block being released, you're going to start to recognize how much you overgive and how little you receive back. And you're going to have to start making some tough decisions in who and what to say no to moving forward. And that's going to be really hard for you to say no. So just kind of being aware of the empowerment and the tough decisions that you're going to have to make. But when making those tough decisions and putting yourself first moving forward, there's going to be a lot of opportunity, abundance, movement, spiritual connection, weird things that happen that really start to pick up with that safety and with the releasing the block from the past life. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Krista, for coming on.
Thank you.
Bye. Ah, fantastic. I feel that so deeply. And yeah, I truly want to encourage everyone to be to step into that role and to make a business out of spirituality. Absolutely, absolutely. You know, as long as you're authentic and you're real and you're connected, do it. And it could be breath work, it could be yoga, it could be anything. But you know, you could be a salesperson for big pharma, you know, and do that for a living, or salesperson for, I don't know why all salespeople, but salespeople aren't bad. I'm just saying you could be contributing to the issues on the planet, or you could be contributing to New Earth. So yeah, it's super discouraging when I see those kind of comments from people saying that I shouldn't be charging for things and that it's wrong of me to do that. Okay, let me just go ahead and clear my energy and tune into the next person. So 1 second. All right. I just want to say that right when I was clearing my energy, I saw the cord between Krista and I. And so I cut it, but I also saw that Krista's, you know, purple back energy actually transformed into this beautiful soft pink. Sometimes it takes a couple days, couple weeks to do that, but sometimes just in that moment, with that information, it changes immediately, and it's so empowering to see. So, yeah. And then after I saw that, I just cleared my energy again. All right. Okay, cool. Let's see who else needs to come through today. All right, let's bring in Maya. Maya or Maya? Come on in. I hope you all are having a beautiful day so far. Hello, Maya.
Hello, can you see me?
Not yet. Let's see if I can get you to start your video.
Okay. all these
Ah,
buttons.
there you are. Hi.
Hello.
Awesome. All right. What can I help you with today?
I just am not really quite sure about my life path, like if I am on the correct projection.
Okay, great. What are you doing right now?
Well, I am like in life or my room because I'm cleaning my room.
In life.
Okay. I'm less than about a year away from getting my bachelor's in biology degree that I had a premonition about when I was about 10 years old. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get it. And then I had some hiccups, became disabled, and I still decided like I'm getting this degree because I feel drawn to that. For what reason? Not quite sure. But I'm
Okay.
getting it.
I was gonna ask, what's the dream? What's the goal? Where do you see yourself?
In a forest
Hmm.
with the mushrooms, the mycelium.
Ah, oh my goodness, that makes so much sense. Immediately when I just like, especially when I see people, um, I really felt shaman energy immediately. So let's just tune in. Let's see where you're at on your path, and see what your guides have to say here. Okay, 1 second. Mm. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Mhm. Okay, so it's very clear that you are like so on your path, everything, the disability, the school, all of it. There is a very deep significance of you finishing this school. And a big part of that is the education that you're going to have behind the path of the journey, the mission that you're going to take. And for whatever reason, I felt the exact same way of, yes, I want to be a psychic and I want to help the world, but I also feel like having a backing of education is maybe going to give me a little bit of extra validation that I'm not just some kook off the street, even though it's okay to not have an education as well. Um, and for most part, I actually, I'm quite against it. So the biology is so important for you, to really back this path that you're going into. You've definitely been a shaman in many past lifetimes before, all over the planet, actually, in many different environments. And for you, it's always been about bridging the gap between this realm, this world, and the other world. And the other world specifically that I want to talk about, because there's so many different layers here to other realms and realities. But for you, it's always been about um like the elemental realm. Like it's yes, it's the fairies and the elves and whoever lives in the elemental realm, but it's the elemental realm is also like the spirit realm, and that's where like spirit animals are, and that's where the energies of the planet are, and that's what I see you helping people connect with. And then also your health journey is a huge part of your story. And I think you know that. And I think even when everything happened, you knew that that was going to be a big part of your story, even though it's really hard to even think about that when you're in it. It's like all of these things have to culminate to create who you're going to be and what you're going to help the planet with. I even asked your spirit guides, is there anything after school, after you're done, that you need to be aware of to go into? Like, basically my question was, are there any like middle steps that you like, stepping stones that you have to take before you dive into this career? And I just want to say that the career that I see you stepping into is, the word that came through is facilitator. Okay, facilitator, and I would say teacher as well. You could definitely go into shamanism and take some shamanistic courses, because that would just maybe remind you of where you've been before. But it's not even needed. It really just feels like bridging the gap between the realms, facilitating, teaching people by bringing them out in nature in a sober setting, but then also bringing people and teaching people and connecting people to the other realms by facilitating plant medicine ceremonies is absolutely something you're going to be doing. And psilocybin, yes. And then I also see others that you're going to be working with as well. The other thing that I want to mention, especially with your educational background, there are a lot of, and I don't know where you live in the world, but right now, America is talking about, like all of America is talking about legalizing psilocybin and also I think MDMA. And even in Nevada, where I live half the time, there's ketamine treatments, which I think are absolutely beyond brilliant. This is huge. This is so huge. And that's why your guides are like, don't wait. Don't even wait taking a shamanism course. I mean, obviously, don't call yourself a shaman if you haven't done the work, but, and I don't even see you calling yourself that in this lifetime, a facilitator, a teacher. But they're literally saying this is happening so quickly. After you're done your school, they want you to dive right into facilitating. They want you to dive right into teaching. You already have all the tools that you need. You don't even need like a biology, like a 9-to-5 job as a stepping stone. Sometimes you need some work experience to kind of take with you, but your guides are saying you have it all. You're good. Once you graduate, you're diving right in, and it feels like all the right opportunities are going to come to you. And yeah, I do see you taking a couple of other maybe more structured jobs before you dive into your very own thing to gain access to more of that experience, but nothing like biology, more so facilitating, teaching, even like shaman assistant, facilitating psilocybin experiences, microdosing, those kind of things is what I see you going into. So yeah, you shouldn't feel lost at all. I think you're just feeling the anticipation of ending one really long cycle that you've been on and entering a brand new one. That's really scary, but it's really truly where you should be. And this is what you've been working your whole life towards, is what you're about to move into.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on and for your service that you're going to be doing in the future. I'm very excited to see where you end up.
Thank you for yours as well.
Thank you. Bye, Maya. Oh, amazing. Honestly, my personal opinion about, psilocybin, MDMA, ketamine, I don't know much about MDMA or ketamine personally, but I told my wife just the other day, I think she was reading an article about America. I think they have a plan to legalize MDMA, and I want to say it was MDMA and or the therapeutic use of MDMA and psilocybin in the next 2 years. And for sure with psilocybin, I told her, I'm like, that is going to be one of the biggest consciousness expansions we could ever do for the planet, is to legalize mushrooms, magic mushrooms. And then of course, marijuana, I think is another big part of it, but I think above and beyond, plant medicine is incredible, is the way to go. So, and I don't know much about ayahuasca or kambo or really any of the other ones personally, but I do think that these things, when done appropriately, are going to be connections to the other realms. And the when done appropriately is probably the biggest thing I can mention about that. So yeah, super, super fascinating. So cool. Love it so much. All right, I'm going to clear my energy and we're going to hop right in. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and bring in Lucero. Hopefully I'm saying your name properly. I'm so bad with pronunciation. Like I almost failed grade 3 because of my phonics. Hello. Hello, hello. And let's see if I can get you to unmute so I can hear you. Nope, I can't. You're still muted. Let me click. I can see you though. You're beautiful. Nope, still muted. I can see your little mute thing, so you should be able to. I still can't hear you. So weird. Ask to unmute. Unfortunately, I can't unmute you myself. Nothing. Okay, well, let me go ahead and put you, there's a put on hold button. Maybe I can put you on hold. Try and figure it out. We'll move on to the next person and then I'll come back around to you, okay? Okay, I don't think that worked. Okay, sorry about that. I'm just gonna stop your video and then I'll come back to you, okay? Okay, 1 second. All right, let's go over to Dawn. Come on in, Dawn. Hello, hello.
Hello, can you see me?
I can't see you yet.
Okay, let me see. Most of this just start my video. Okay.
Perfect. Hi. Okay. What can I help you with today, Dawn?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm a newbie to the group.
Welcome.
I have been working with shift and high frequency for a while, so I'm excited. I currently am not with my former mentor, so I'm so excited to meet you. I wanted to know, I'm currently starting a new path. I would really like to be like a light worker, work with the healing, the energy healing.
Yeah.
So I want to see if that's something that is on my path. And I with the star seeds, because I'm new to this, is everybody a star seed, or are some people they are and some people aren't?
Yeah, in general, some people are and some people aren't. And once again, just the definition of a starseed is a soul who has volunteered to be a human coming from a higher or mostly different dimension. And so what I've noticed is, some souls just kind of progress from dimension 1 to dimension 2, going
Right.
into the dimension 3, and they kind of came to this planet just expecting to be a human, just this third dimensional being. And then the star seeds are almost like intentional volunteers coming here. What I find is the majority of my community, just because I set that as an intention, are star seeds, and they came here to specifically be a volunteer and be of service. So let's take a look at your energy. Let's take a look at what you're here to do and see what your guides have to say. Okay? All right, 1 second. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I think as far as you being a mere reflection of a lot of other people who are questioning a very similar thing, this is a really important message for everyone who, some people who want to step into it don't know how to step into it. Some people who want to step into being of service, but they can't get away from their full-time job. The message that comes through here with you is that you're already doing it. It's so funny because your guides like immediately,
I do work in mental health. Like I'm in administration. I'm not a case manager, but I work on the opposite end of the spectrum with the clients.
Yep, absolutely. And so, the first thing your guide said is you're already a light worker. Like you are already shifting and changing and helping so many, and you don't even know it. And what's really fascinating is your guides gave me this image, and it's kind of hard to describe. Like if you imagine kind of just like a dark room, and okay, imagine this. Imagine a dark planet, okay? And there's all these ley lines and these kind of meridian lines all over the planet. Anywhere you go, you light up these lines. So what they were showing me specifically is these ley lines of the planet, these vortexes and portals. Like you are naturally so high vibrational that when you go places, you just light those places up. And you guys were telling me about some challenges that you've had as a human on this planet. Because you are of the light, you also tend to attract the darkness, and you've had to kind of battle and deal with that quite a bit as well. And then you've had to learn a lot of lessons with healthy boundaries and saying no, and how much you let in, like basically saving yourself a little bit too. And you have learned that, especially over the past 4 to 5 years, which is amazing.
Yes, I get it's all resonating. It's all that's all of that has what led me to here. So I'm thankful for those challenges, because if I hadn't had those, I wouldn't be where I am.
100%. Yeah, exactly. It's all just really training is how I look at it. And so, okay, so I want to talk about next steps for you. 100%. If you want to be a healer, you can be a healer. Like you already have that essence to you. One of the things, so they showed me a future image of you, and this is just one of many timelines. There's a client laying down on like, I guess a massage bed, it looks like. And their back is down, their face up, their eyes are closed. You've got some crystals around, probably some like, good vibes music or something. And what I saw you doing, this is really fascinating. You took 2 fingers and I saw you, this is what I saw in the vision. You took 2 fingers and you would touch their meridian points. And it was so crazy because like the person just lit up. Like it was like their whole body, and my body starts tingling just talking about it. Their whole body started to tingle and to vibrate and to light up just from your touch on certain meridian points. And so I have to let you know, honestly, I would advise you against any sort of like structured healing. Okay. So like Reiki or like any of that, I just don't think, I almost feel like that would give you more of a container than what you really need. And this is a really good point for a lot of other starseeds who also want to start their own thing. Be aware of the container. I think containers are good if you can go into it and know this isn't going to be my practice, but I'll take key points that are going to resonate with me from this practice. So what you need to know for sure, I would say, as a structure or a container is meridians. I think it would be really important for you to understand the meridians, where the energetic lines in the body sit, and how to activate them, because that's what you are. You're very much so an activator and this bright light and this natural healer. And then one other thing that I would mention is intention setting, right? So to work with your clients and to ask them what intention they want for the healing. And then you're just going to find yourself doing whatever it takes to get them to that intentional point. And I also want to say one more thing. There's this essence of freedom that I feel like you've been striving for personally, that you've also been holding space for everyone else to gain access to their freedom, whether that be freedom in mental health, freedom in administration work, freedom just to kind of lend an ear to a friend or what have you. But now it's time for you to really step into your own freedom by stepping into this new career. And so I do want to mention, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to leave the career that you're in just to kind of try and make it in the spiritual sense. I think it should be work the 9 to 5 and work, build spiritual stuff up on the side so that you're not just all or nothing, because the worst thing to do as a brand new entrepreneur is to start things from scarcity mindset and say, I have to make money or else I'm not going to survive, because all of that energy is low vibrational and you're not going to be able to make the money or bring the clients in with that mindset. So do a little bit of the meridian work and the research behind that.
Yeah.
You're going to intuitively just be guided as to what you need to do with your clients, set intentions, take that person there. And yeah, you're exactly where you need to be with all of that.
Thank you so much. I was so excited to meet you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dawn, for being a part of the community and being here today. I really appreciate you too.
Thank you.
Oh, so good. So good. A lot of being on the cusp. And I just want to validate for so many of you who are listening. One of the things that I hear all the time about stepping into your own profession, it could be making jewelry, it could be selling fruit on the corner. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm a huge advocate of entrepreneurship and starting something yourself if you have the drive, if you're motivated to go ahead and do something like that. But I just want to remind all of you that, the number one thing I hear with entrepreneurship is, oh, the industry is oversaturated. Who am I? How could I help people? I remember being 20, 21 years old and saying, how can I call myself a life coach when my clients are 3 times the age of me? I mean, I don't have the life experience to even have this title. And then I realized that I have something to give, and this is why I really feel called to this work. And of course, here I am now with all of you on this very public coaching call, which it just lights me up so much that I get to do this. So I just want to remind you that we have 8 billion people in the world. And without a doubt, 7.5 billion of those people are completely asleep. Or if they're not asleep in 3D, they're in 4D and they're trying to fight the system, and they're, a part of all the movements, and they're, in all the conspiracies, and they also need help too. And you can be that force in their life. I cannot stress this enough. I've said this for many, many years. We need as many of you as possible. We need as many of you as possible. And if you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, all right, EA, that all sounds well and good, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what my mission is. I don't know how I can help the planet. I'm not interested in crystals or energy healings or yoga. That's okay. Here's what I would recommend for you. Make the statement, I am ready to be of assistance to the planet, to humanity. I am ready to assist humanity. I'm ready. I'm ready. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how to do it. I don't know when it's going to happen, but hey, universe, I am so ready to assist humanity. When you make that statement, you will start to notice the right people, the right situations, the right things, the right culmination of events will happen. It will happen. I remember the first time I ever called myself a psychic because I didn't think I had any right to do so. And I told someone that I was working at a coffee shop, and I was like, yeah, so I do these like coaching call sessions and I help people, but I do it kind of intuitively, and I tune into their energy while doing it. And the guy's like, oh, okay, you're a psychic. And I'm like, no, wait a second. Yeah, I guess I am. Like, it was never a forethought, you know what I mean? It was the right random stranger that came in to get a cup of coffee, who was interested in what else I was doing, who allowed me to step into that. All right. So just realize you don't have to have all of the pieces in order to make a statement that you're ready for that next step. And even if you're like, I know where I want to go, but I don't know how to get there. Once again, I'm ready to get there. When we make these kind of statements, we move along our path quite rapidly. And that's it. We're just letting the universe know, instead of, I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how to help. I don't know what to do. That's not letting the universe know that you're ready to do it, whatever it is. You know what I mean? All right, let's bring through one more person. I'll just go ahead and clear my energy. And then just a reminder to all of you, I've got another coaching call session for members only happening in a couple of hours. So Awakeners creators, please show up for that coaching call. I know a lot of you do, and that's always so beautiful. And then, of course, if you can't show up live, you can always watch it after on the membership platform. And yeah, definitely check out the Astral Travel event if you haven't already. Hit up the Astral Travel forum, and that's about it. Oh yeah, and definitely be sure to like and subscribe to YouTube, because I know this is also being shown on YouTube. And I just hit 160,000 subscribers, so huge thank you to all of the new subscribers on YouTube. It just really supports me and helps me out. And I hope that, my videos can be of assistance to you and help you out as well. All right. All right. Let me just go ahead and clear my energy. Okay. All right. Come on in, Sadie. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for choosing me. So I would just like to know if there's any specific guidance that I can receive from my guides. And then on the other hand, I've also been thinking more about like my ancestry, my ancestral line, specifically on my mother's side, and in terms of healing. That.
Perfect. Okay, good. Because this also brings up something that's really important that I probably don't talk about enough, which is the ancestral healing, right? Like I'm definitely way more connected to the past life healing, but the ancestral healing is really important as well. So let's see where you're at with that. Let's check into your energies. Let's see what's going on with you. And then let's bring through a message for everyone about how we can kind of deepen our ancestral healing and make sure that all of that BS kind of stops with us. So 1 second. Interesting. Okay. So taking a look at your energy, for the most part, like where you're at right now, your chakras, like you're in a really good place. Like it feels like you're just kind of flowing along with everything. Your chakras look good and nice and aligned. Yeah, so you're energetically, you're in a good place. your guides brought up something interesting, and they were talking about your dreams, and they were talking about a lot of activity, a lot of energy, a lot of different situations, scenarios, reactions, emotions that are coming through in dreams. And you're definitely not alone with that. I think a lot of people, definitely myself included, have been having this like upkick in crazy ass dreams. Now, there's something that comes through here because you have had the intention of healing this ancestral line for a little while now. And it really seems like there's aspects and elements of this ancestral healing that are coming through in your dreams. Like to the point where you wake up and you're like, wow, like that didn't feel like my shit, like that didn't feel like, my issue. And there's some healing that's happening there. And then your guides were trying to explain a little bit more about like the ancestral healing, and it gets a little bit complicated, but I'm going to try my best to describe what they were showing me visually. So, and this is really great for anyone wanting to do the ancestral healing. All right. So us right now at this time in this generation, whatever generation you're in, it doesn't matter. The generations before us all have trauma that they've experienced. And a lot of the times there's repeated trauma generation after generation after generation. That's the ancestral healing that we need to heal. And here's what I see. The stuff that we need to heal is hasn't been closed. There's no closure there. So what we're doing is we don't necessarily have to step into all of these lessons and learn all of the lessons in order to heal them. Most likely we're a soul who came into this specific family with already the tools from those lessons. So we can step into that. We can experience, whoa, what a crazy pattern in my family's lineage. And I'm going to choose to end that by taking different action or having a different reaction or thinking about it in a different way. And you can do that. I do want to mention that the guides were saying that if you feel incapable of taking that energy on, and this is where it gets a little bit more complex, the consciousness grid of the planet, there are many other souls all around the planet who have dealt with that lesson, who have learned those things, who can very easily take that on and clear it. So there is an element here of actually connecting the ancestral traumas to the consciousness grid of the planet if you don't want to take that on. Because all of a sudden, I've seen this in a couple of cases before with really heavy empaths and starseeds who are very emotional and connected to those emotions. They take on so much of the ancestral bullshit that they actually start to embody it, and it starts to bring them down. And I don't actually see that as your case, Sadie. I see that you're pretty objective about it, and you're really good at actually just moving through it and seeing it and analyzing it and being able to kind of apply those things. But for a lot of other starseeds, we get so wrapped up in the ancestral trauma, we now identify with it, which is the wrong thing to do. So if you don't feel capable, oh, this is what they said. This is what they said. If you're at a place in your life where everything is so good that you have the luxury of taking on the ancestral trauma, then do that. Okay. So that's a really key part. If you've done all your things, if you've done the house cleaning and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and scrub the floors, you can go ahead and scrub the floors, which is taking care of the ancestral work, but you can also upload some of that ancestral trauma to the basically the energetic cloud around the planet. Oh my goodness. Okay. So that makes sense. There was another analogy that they gave me about ancestral healing, which is, and it's funny, like such a throwback to like high school. You have like a textbook. For me, it was mostly math textbooks. And at the end of it had all the answers. So I just like screw the freaking equation and I'd go right to the end for the answer. And this is what we're doing. A lot of us starseeds are able to come into these family dynamics, and instead of having to read the whole chapter in order to understand how to get the answer, we can actually just pull that answer either from the consciousness grid, a past lifetime, our own experiences, and have the answer there. And by bringing that solution, we can clear that energy. So yeah, so it feels like you're right on track for doing this. So anything else with your mom's side that you need to clear? Yeah, it's almost like just knowing what the issues are and then applying them in a way that's just objective and neutral and that you can move through it. And you're really good at doing that. A really good example is on my side of the family, I want to say it's my mom's side, there's alcoholism on that side of the family. And I think in my generation, I mean, my brother may be a little bit different, but I think we're in the same place. We're both not big drinkers. We just couldn't care less about alcohol. And I know that just by having that kind of mindset and not really ever needing to struggle with it because I don't ever desire it, I'm immediately canceling out that contract for my generation and for the generations after me. So it can be that simple. It can really, truly be that simple. Some things like deep traumas can really affect everyone at a much deeper level. So yeah, overall, I think you're in a really good place. I think that you really needed to come through with this ancestral trauma question, because I think we're all trying to do that as well. But once again, just a huge statement of, don't take on all of the healing if you're not fully in a place where your love cup is full and overflowing. At that place, you can then take on the extra healing that needs to be taken on from the ancestral. And it doesn't have to be taken on at such a deep level that you have to read the whole book in order to find the answer. You have help, you have assistance. And that's just such a great message for everyone. So I really appreciate you coming on, Sadie, and bringing that through. And for the most part, it looks like you're in a really good place.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. All right. And I think the other lady ended up signing off. So I'll see if I can maybe bring her through another time, because I don't have her in anymore. So I'm sorry about that. Everything happens for a reason. I truly, truly believe that. I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you for coming on and participating in this public coaching call. This happens on the 22nd of every month. I really felt the need to offer this for free. For many reasons, but mostly just to kind of give back and assist and help. So I hope that this did just that and gave you the answers that you need. And I'm really looking forward to connecting with all of my members in a couple of hours from now. I think the time zone is different here, so I always get tripped up, but I think it's in 2 hours from now. Pretty sure. So yeah, I'll see you all then. Definitely catch up on some of my most recent YouTube videos if you haven't. And yeah, thanks for being here, everyone. As always, I will see you in the 5th dimension frequency. Bye for now.